One of the things I get asked most is how I organise and store my beads. You know that if you don't keep track of your supplies, it quickly turns to chaos. I would waste so much time looking for the right beads that I would get frustrated and not make anything at all. But then I worked out a system that actually worked for me that might work for you too. Hello, welcome to The Stylish Maker. My name's Carol. I'm really excited about today's episode because I'm sharing something that has really changed the way I work, my bead organisation system. You know how quickly things can get really messy and you can't find anything? Until I found a system that actually works, I used to waste so much time and money because I'd often buy things I already owned or couldn't find the things that I had. So for me, organisation isn't just about being tidy. It's about saving time and money, and knowing what I have keeps me inspired to make new things. The good news is that you probably need less space than you think when you are well organised. So today I'm going to walk you step by step through the system that I use to store and keep track of all my beading supplies. When I first started jewellery making, I started looking for a way to store my beads, just like every other beader. I went through several options. Should I store all my glass beads in one place and my metal beads somewhere else? Or should I organise in terms of size and use? There are so many options. I was really confused. When I bought the bead store, I had to get really serious about it. I started with the jars like the ones behind me, and that works really well when you have large quantities of beads, but most beaders only have a few of each bead, so that doesn't really work for most people. The game changer for me was when I found these little plastic boxes. I found them at the $2 store. They came in packs of 6 and were reasonably cheap. The cool thing about these boxes is that they can stand up in my plastic drawers. These plastic boxes measure 6 by 5 by 3.5 centimetres. You can see each box has a number on it. Each of these plastic boxes holds one type of bead, and every single one has a unique identifier number written on it. The drawers themselves are also labelled with numbers. Each stand of drawers has a letter, and each individual drawer has a number. So I know exactly where each box lives. Let me show you. This drawer is labelled L6 because it's in stand L, and its drawer number is 6. And inside we can see all the little boxes. This one holds 4mm glass crackle beads in the colour purple. So you can see that the product number is GC4, which stands for glass crackle 4mm. The next part of the number is P, which stands for purple. The following 4-digit number is 6868. No other bead or box in my stash has that number. It's unique to this product. If we look at the other products in this drawer, you can see that I have other colours of the 4mm glass crackle beads. This one is green and this one is clear. I do try to store like with like, but sometimes that's not always possible, as I might have more of one colour than fits into a plastic box. So then I put it in a jar, but the system is still the same. The jar gets a product number, colour code and variant number just like this. And the shelves have numbers too. So how do I keep track of all these numbers, boxes and drawers? I use an application called Airtable. Airtable is like a spreadsheet on steroids. Every product, for example my 4mm glass crackle beads, has a line in the spreadsheet. I track useful information like obviously the bead's unique number, its type, size and colour, where I bought it, and most importantly, which drawer it lives in. I also take photos of each and every bead, and that lives in my spreadsheet as well. This way I can do a lot of the design work on my computer before I even get the beads out. That way, when I'm scrolling through my Airtable, I can actually see what each bead looks like. This visual reference saves so much time and stops me from pulling out half the studio to check a detail. I can also track how much I paid for the beads, and this helps me figure out the cost of each piece I make. If you're interested in learning more about how I do that, I've already shared a separate spreadsheet template over in the Style Makers Network that walks you through exactly how to calculate the full cost of making your jewellery. It makes such a difference knowing how much it costs to make each piece if you want to price your work fairly and sell it confidently. Before we go any further, I'm going to indulge you with a proud mama moment. See this t-shirt I'm wearing? It was designed by my daughter. Isn't it cute? I'm going to link to her website so you can check it out. The earrings I'm wearing today are my heart chandelier earrings, and I'll leave you a link for that tutorial below as well. Another great feature in Airtable is filtering. Let's say I'm designing a piece and need something red. I can filter the database by colour and instantly see all my red beads with photos, sizes, types and availability. Or maybe I need a bead in gold. Easy. Being able to search and filter like this has made designing so much easier and quicker. I can play and experiment digitally before touching a single box. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Carol, what are you thinking? That's so anal. And yes, it probably is. But when you have over 3,500 different beads in your studio, you need to keep track of them. You may be starting out small, but I advise you to start now. You won't regret it. The only thing is that you actually need to maintain the system. You must remember to keep the system up to date every time you add or remove beads. It actually doesn't take that long once you get into the habit of it. It will save you so much time in the long run. Before I give you my 4 best tips for organising your supplies, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. If you would like to be notified every time I publish a new episode, then consider signing up for my newsletter. I'll leave that linked below. So here's my tips for getting started in your organisation journey. Number 1, start small. You don't have to organise everything overnight. Take your time and do a little bit each day or each week, whatever you have time for. Maybe assign a drawer to work through, or if your supplies are currently stored in boxes, a box. Little but often will work for you. Number 2. Label as you go. I bought some labels from the $2 store, but even masking tape and a Sharpie will work. As you label, remember to add to your spreadsheet. Number 3, and this is the one I struggle with, take photos of everything. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a nice clear photo. And you can sometimes download photos from the supplier website, and that will do. Number 4, this is the most important one. Be consistent with your naming system, because that's what holds the whole thing together. Oh, and by the way, I do not ever store my beads in those divided plastic boxes like this one. If you put small beads into these boxes, it's very difficult to get them out. With my small plastic boxes, I can just upturn the box and tip the beads out. You can't do that with those divided ones. Are you feeling inspired to go and clear out your beading space and organise your beads? I have the perfect opportunity for you. Over on the Style Makers Network, our June challenge is all about organising your space, whether it's your beads and jewellery supplies, your sewing tools and your fabric, your yarn stash, or even your wardrobe. This is the month to finally get it done. All you have to do to get involved is sign up to the Style Makers Network. It costs less than a cup of coffee per month. Take before and after photos, join the challenge and share your progress. And of course, join the wonderful community of crafters who are also taking on the challenge. There's lots of other benefits to becoming a member as well, but you'll see those when you join. I'll leave you a link to the challenge in the description box below. So if you've been putting off organising your supplies, let this be your nudge to jump in. You'll feel so much better once it's done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this gave you some inspiration and practical tips to getting your studio or space organised. Definitely check out the Style Makers Network Challenge. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.